I saw a TikTok comment the other day that said Joe Burrow gets more credit for losing the Super Bowl than Jalen Hurts gets credit for winning one. And that got me thinking, and the more I thought about it, they were right. Why do we disrespect a player to the caliber of Jalen Hurts level, a man who's been to 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl, Super Bowl MVP, multiple time Pro Bowler? I mean, the list goes on, right? So why do we continue to throw dirt on a quarterback who's accomplished so much when honestly he has a few traits that we'll get into in this video that separate him from every other quarterback in this league? So let's just get right into that. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, comment down below what you think of Jalen Hurts, and let's get into it. Starting this off, I know Jalen's arm isn't really the strongest in the league, which is fine. There's a lot of guys who can't really push the ball down the field, but the one thing I have gained from watching all of these highlights and all these hours of film study on him these past few hours is Jalen is an amazing deep ball thrower. I think he is. I think he was limited in the Kevin Patullo offense just by pure play design. But I mean, this is an amazing thrown ball. Is it a little underthrown, a tad underthrown? It is, but it's still an amazing thrown ball when you consider that you had a corner, bearing down on him, right on him, or safety, excuse me. I mean, he was right there with him. Yeah, it's a tight window to be fitting that into. And I think, honestly, the Eagles should have went with more of this kind of play style than what they did in 2025. Like I said, Kevin Patullo, I think, really held back Jalen Hurts when it came to the scheme. I think the play designs that they had were kind of funky. Like, a lot of them just didn't fit to the player's strength. And we're going to get into it here. I mean, this is a fairly basic concept here. What we're going to have is a post by Devontae, followed that underneath with a cross by A.J. Brown. Forgive that ugly cross. And then it's going to be a play action with Saquon out in the flat. This is the most basic play design you could do in all of football. And watching Jalen's film, the one thing I realized was the repetition, meaning the Eagles ran this about 25% of all of their deep ball passes. That's a lot. That means 1 in every 4 plays, this is what the Eagles were running right here. It becomes predictable. I think when you yes, I understand running, same play, same playbook, whatever, but I think Kevin Patullo's offense relied so much on getting Saquon involved to set up this post cross. Wow, that was a horrible post. It relied so much on getting to this play that when this play didn't end up working, it forced Jalen to bail. It forced Jalen to throw interceptions. There was a lot that went wrong based off of the scheme, I think. And I think that Kevin Patullo's scheme didn't fit to Saquon's strengths. I didn't think it fit to AJ's strengths. And I didn't think it fit to Jalen's strengths. Those are 3 key players on your offense you're essentially alienating by running the style that Kevin Patullo would run. It was a lot of short RPOs inside the hashes, inside zones, outside toss cracks. There was a lot of it. We could get into it schematically, break it down for hours. But I just think that the one thing overall I took from film when watching Jalen was he was limited by the scheme. And while his numbers still weren't horrible, 25 touchdowns, which is, not the best in today's era, but it's still a good amount. He only had 6 interceptions, which, like I said, aren't the best of numbers, but when you put it into sample size with what he was working with the constraints of the offense, with the offensive line play going down a little bit from the 2024 season, as well as Saquon not really having the best year also due to that offensive line play going down, a lot more became Jalen's problems, and I think maybe that's what the media was pointing their fingers to. I couldn't really tell you, but overall, the point of this is Jalen was, I think, overall limited by the overall scheme. I think, this was Jalen's ceiling in that scheme, and I think it hits much higher. Jalen is an amazing player. I want to talk about Jalen's processing power, meaning how quick he's able to overall just diagnose defenses and able to tell when shit's about to hit the fan and get out of there. So, I mean, we're going to see it here. He gets 1, 2 on his reads and he's gone. We're going to see it from this angle. We're going to see the crown of his helmet jump from his 1 to 2. And the second that he realizes, hey, this isn't going to work, they're both guarded, they're both covered, he gets out of there. 1, 2, and then he bails. gets out of there wide open. And it's the legs of Jalen Hurts able to allow him to do this sort of thing. I think it's a very underrated part of his game. Like, we know he's a scrambler, we know he's a runner, but it's the play creativity to know when a play is breaking down to do stuff like this that really separates him because of his elite processing power. I think he processes defenses better than a lot of quarterbacks. Honestly, I would say he's probably top four, top three in terms of how quick does he run in script, and if it's not there, he bails. It's just his overall knowledge of where his guys are and what the defense is running that I think makes him such an elite caliber quarterback. I mean, all this dude does is win. He has an amazing record since entering the league, and I think he shows it every Sunday why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and people still want to put dirt on my boy's name. Another thing to take into account is Jalen has had a new offensive coordinator every year since he's been in the league. That's 6 years with a new offensive coordinator every year. That's got to be exhausting. Every year he's had to learn a new scheme. I think we just got to start putting more credit on the Super Bowl champ. I think that people are severely underrating this man. They're dissing his name for I don't know why. And yeah, that's all I really got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a shorter video. I just wanted to get this out because the Jalen slander has gone too far.